Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to Ghost in Depth. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the controversial Deadeye perk. Deadeye is the most expensive perk in the game, both at unlock level, at squad points, and perk points that it takes up in your inventory. A lot of people say this perk is unfair or OP, a lot of people say it's been overly nerfed, but today we're going to be going over the exact stats of the damage and probabilities and tell you how it works. The weapon you're going to see me using is the DBJ-MS on the map Freight. I'm going to go on some good streaks and get some Deadeye streaks, and you're going to get to see it work very consistently as I get my kill streak up higher. I'm also going to have some moments where I maybe kind of sort of flub up, so you're going to get to see me make some mistakes, but I chose the gun for a very specific reason that we're going to go over later. Anyway, enjoy the gameplay. Let's move on to the stats and what Deadeye does. The easiest way to describe Deadeye is it's kind of like randomized stopping power. Imagine if you could put stopping power on your weapons, but it's more like a randomized effect. It's not 100% consistent, and you don't control when you do and don't get the stopping power. However, the higher your kill streak, the more effective Deadeye is, or at least the more consistent it is. It's going to change the probability of you getting stopping power with each shot, the higher your kill streak. The amount of damage increase is 40%. A Deadeye shot will deal 40% bonus damage or 1.4x damage on that particular shot when you shoot an enemy. It doesn't deal it on all shots, and it doesn't deal it on enemies engaged. It's just, let's say you've got 30 bullets in your game, a certain percentage of them are going to be randomly selected to be Deadeye bullets, and if you hit somebody with a Deadeye bullet, it's 40% bonus damage. This is the exact same amount of damage as stopping power from previous Call of Duty games, so it is very similar to stopping power, and 40% is chosen for a reason because it gives you 1 or 2 less shots to kill, just kind of depending on the weapon. And I would like to say that the damage increase is flat, as I was talking earlier that Deadeye gets more effective as you level up. Well, as your kill streak goes up, the amount of damage doesn't go up, only the probability. The damage increase is completely flat. It is always 40% bonus damage no matter what, and it doesn't go any higher than that. What does change is the probability of getting a Deadeye bullet. As your kill streak increases, the probability of getting a Deadeye shot and the consistency of the perk continues to increase. Those specific increases are as follows. If you have no kills, as in you just spawn and you have nothing going on, you only have a 12.5% chance of one of your bullets dealing Deadeye damage. That's not a very high percent chance, but that's what it is. After you get 1 kill, it jumps up to 16.67% chance of getting a Deadeye shot. Again, not that great. If you manage to go on a 2-kill streak, you're up to 33.33%, or 1 out of every 3 bullets is going to be a Deadeye shot. This will be effective if you're using something like a 4-shot kill weapon. That'll turn it into a 3-shot kill weapon most of the time, not always, because it's a probabilistic thing. And 3 kills, we take a bigger jump up to 40%, and we're getting pretty effective here. If you get 4 kills, it jumps up to 50%. Unfortunately, getting more than 4 kills isn't going to raise it any higher. It tops out at 50%, so half of your bullets deal bonus damage at 50%, and that kind of makes calculating the effectiveness of this perk a very probabilistic thing, which is kind of hard to do. It won't get any higher than 50%, and it won't deal any more than 1.4x damage, so that's the absolute cap on the Deadeye perk. As I stated earlier, the best way to calculate this is to build a big probability chart and see how many shots it takes to kill with different weapons at different ranges, and calculate how many shots you're going to use, and then run them through the probability and then the 1.4x damage, and you'll do some math and you'll see what the likelihood is of killing somebody faster with Deadeye depending on your kill streak. There's a lot of variables that goes into this, and I'm going to be perfectly honest with you on this. I personally have not gone through and crunched all the numbers and did the math. One of the Den Bros did this and made an excellent thread about it. I linked it down there in the description so you can read it and go through the charts and his probabilistic analysis yourself. I asked for permission to use the charts, and permission was denied. Even though they are publicly available, it felt kind of wrong and kind of dirty for me to just slap my name on them and claim them as my own, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to link you to him so that he gets the credit. Anyway, the conclusions drawn are as follows. The Deadeye perk is absolutely useless for sniper rifles, and I mean just so completely useless for sniper rifles. You want one-shot kills 100% of the time. You don't want to work your way up, and on snipers, honestly, you're killing people from knee up anyway, so the likelihood of you needing Deadeye to shoot somebody in the foot or to the toe or something is very unlikely, so it's useless for sniper rifles. Marksman rifles are already very high damage weapons, and Deadeye doesn't push them over the brink into one-shot kill ranges very often. The only one it's really practical on is maybe the IA-2, maybe at some ranges, but it's still essentially useless for all marksman rifles. For the lower damage assault rifles, you will see some benefit. Now for the higher damage, more heavy hitting assault rifles, the benefit is much more minimal, but possible. You've got, I'm going to call it moderate benefit for the lower damage AR, such as the ARX 160, the SC 2010, and the FAD or FAD. Those you can get some benefit out of Deadeye on. The other ones I really wouldn't bother using them. The weapon class on which it is most useful is the low damage submachine guns. The lower damage your submachine guns are, the more bullets it takes to kill, the more likely you are to get a Deadeye shot, the more likely you are to kill somebody faster versus normal. So Deadeye is going to be most useful on the DBJ-MS, which is the one I'm using right now, the VEPR, and the K7, the low damage SMGs. It's kind of useful. It's more like the moderate usefulness of the assault rifles on the higher damage SMGs like the Vector and the MTAR, but these little SMGs, really you will get your use out of them. It's actually kind of useful on pistols too for long range combat. The pistols in this game are very high damage. They kill in 2 shots up close, so that doesn't help you much in close range. And I'm talking about the regular pistols. The 44 Magnum is its own different monster because it can become a one-shot machine with Deadeye. You mean, if you get a Deadeye shot with 44 Magnum, it deals like 75 damage. The other guy dies almost instantly. But if you're going to do a little bit of long-range pistol combat with the P226 or the M9 or something like that, Deadeye can be very useful on those and get you more one-shot, not one-shot, but 2- and 3-shot kills. I wanted to talk about the effectiveness on Deadeye on shotguns, but I have not been able to nail down its effect. I'm going to say it has an unknown effect on shotguns. I don't know if every single time you pull the trigger and it shoots out 8 pellets, if all 8 of those are Deadeye pellets and they're all dealing extra damage if that's a Deadeye shot, or if the weapon, or if the game treats the shotgun pellets like it did in previous games, essentially just as bullets with low range, and you pull the trigger and let's say 1 out of 8 of your shotgun pellets are damaged, or 1/2 of them are Deadeye damage. It's very difficult to ensure one pellet hits and that the other ones don't, and to separate the non-Deadeye hits from the regular Deadeye hits. If it works the way I think it does, and all you shoot and let's say half of your pellets are Deadeye, that will be very, very effective. That will be an awesome perk for shotguns. If it works the other way around, where half of your shotgun shots are Deadeye and the other half are not, then not so much for shotguns, but the effect is kind of unknown right now and I'm not able to test for it. This is best used with Specialist and lots of other perks. The Deadeye perk takes up a lot of your perk points, 5 of them as a matter of fact. That's over half of them, and unless you trade in your secondaries and your tacticals, you're going to be at a big disadvantage with perks. You won't have very many, so you're going to need Specialist even after you've traded all that in to get back up to normal perks. And if you have Specialist on, chances are you're going for a Chem Strike or a very high kill streak, and you want to get Deadeye already leveled up. So if I built a class with this, I would start with Deadeye, and maybe with the 1 or 2 other most useful perks that I could get, and then I would put on Specialist and kind of level myself up to Specialist bonus and get something going on and be a very strong person. And I would do it on the lower damage SMGs if I were going for a Chem Strike with that, but I would not use Deadeye with the assault streaks or with the support streaks or any sort of real team-based game. This is all about free-for-all and pub stomping and going for Chem Streaks with this perk. Again, I'd like to remind you I've got more info about this in the description, first link down there if you want to check it out. Well guys, that's all for this episode. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you learned something useful. If you'd like to check out my previous episode on the silencer, you can click the box on the left and that'll open in a new window. If you'd like to check out my next episode on the M9A1 pistol, yes, we're finally starting the weapon reviews. I'm going to start with pistols and then work my way up to other weapons. You can click the box on the right when it's live and that'll take you over there. As always, if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.